Hvitserk, the Viking who became a king and then vanished at Hvitserk, is one of the most confusing and debated sons of Ragnar Lothbrok. Unlike his brothers, whose names appear clearly in historical records, Hvitserk exists at the intersection of saga tradition and documented history. In many sources, he is identified with a Viking leader named Halfdan Ragnarsson, while in others, he appears as a separate figure entirely. This uncertainty has led historians to question not only who Hvitserk was, but whether his name represents a person, a title, or a later attempt to connect Viking leaders into a single legendary family. The name Hvitserk roughly translates to white shirt or white tunic, which may have referred to clothing, rank, or ritual symbolism rather than a personal name. Viking nicknames often describe appearance, behavior, or reputation, and it is possible that Hvitserk was known by different names in different regions. This complicates efforts to trace his life through written sources. What historians agree on is that a Viking leader named Halfdan Ragnarsson played a central role in the Great Heathen Army, the massive Viking force that invaded England in the mid-9th century. Halfdan appears repeatedly in Anglo-Saxon chronicles as one of the primary commanders during the campaigns against Northumbria, Mercia, and East Anglia. Many scholars believe Halfdan and Hvitserk were the same person, described under different names by different traditions. Halfdan was instrumental in the capture of York, one of the most important cities in Anglo-Saxon England. Under Viking control, York became a major center of power and trade. This marked a turning point in Viking strategy. Rather than simply raiding and leaving, Viking leaders began settling, ruling, and integrating into local political structures. Hvitserk's role in this transition from raider to ruler is one of his most significant contributions to Viking history. After consolidating power in England, Halfdan later turned his attention toward Ireland. Irish annals describe a Viking leader with similar attributes, leading campaigns and becoming involved in conflicts among Viking factions. These records suggest that Halfdan sought to expand his influence beyond England, but faced resistance not only from local forces, but from rival Vikings as well. The circumstances of Hvitserk's death are unclear and vary by source. Some accounts suggest he was killed during internal Viking conflicts in Ireland. Others imply he died in battle against rival forces. Unlike Ubba, whose death is tied to a specific battle, Hvitserk's end is lost in fragmented and contradictory records. There is no confirmed burial site, no final written account, and no clear explanation of how or when he died. What makes Hvitserk particularly fascinating is how his story reflects the internal struggles of the Viking world. While popular culture often portrays Vikings as a united force, historical evidence shows constant rivalry, shifting alliances, and violent competition for power. Hvitserk appears to have been caught in this chaos, rising to kingship in England, only to disappear from history shortly afterward. Hvitserk's legacy is therefore not one of legendary conquest like Bjorn Ironside, nor strategic domination like Ivar the Boneless. Instead, his story represents the instability of Viking leadership during a time of expansion. He was a ruler, a commander, and possibly a king, yet history offers no clear ending to his life. Whether Hvitserk and Halfdan Ragnarsson were the same man or two different figures may never be fully resolved. What is clear is that this Viking leader helped shape the transformation of Viking society from raiders into rulers. His disappearance from historical records reminds us how fragile power was in the Viking Age. Many leaders rose quickly, ruled briefly, and vanished without explanation. Hvitserk stands as one of the most elusive sons of Ragnar Lothbrok. Neither fully legend nor fully documented, his story exists in fragments scattered across sagas and chronicles. And like much of Viking history, the truth behind Hvitserk may never be fully known. Was he a king who lost power, a warrior killed by rivals, or a name that represented more than one man? The answer remains one of the Viking Age's greatest unresolved mysteries.